Right, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be explaining how to add divisions to the billboard GUI that we made, the overhead GUI that we made in a previous video. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to take this GUI here that's inside of your script and put it into just a random part so you can actually see it. And then we're going to want to add a new label here that has all of the information that will contain the information for the divisions section of the GUI. So you just scale it however you want it scaled, and then position it the same way. Sometimes people like to have it go name, regiment, rank. I prefer name, rank, regiment. Then we want to call it regiment label, and just adjust it to how you like it to look. Just do this. Okay, and then we're going to just put the placeholder text as unknown regiment or division. It's up to you. Okay, now we've done that, we can drag this back into our script here, and we can start editing it. So what first thing we want to do is we go to these here, these identifiers, and we want to make a new one called local regiment equals clone.frame.regiment label. And that's why we named this part here regiment label. It's because we want to identify it in the script. Next thing, we want to make a bool called local found regiment, and we're going to say that's false for now, and then we can start with our divisions. So if someone isn't in any of your groups, any of your divisions or your main group, then you're going to want to have the division listed as something like unknown or civilian or citizen. So to do that, we just do if player is in group. We do if not player is in group and found regiment is equal to false. Then make sure you do two equal signs here. It's very important that you do two, otherwise it won't work. Then we'll do regiment dot text equals. It's also important that you put these in quotation marks, by the way. Civilian or citizen, whatever you want to call it. So that's just someone who isn't in your group. And then also just add this here, just do regiment.text color 3 equals team color. So it's all the same color, unless you've done the colors specially and you want to separate that all out, that's also fine. Anyway, now we'll go on to the slightly more tricky bit of working out what divisions someone is in. So firstly, we're going to want to make a table. We're going to call that group data. And we can just use these tables to store information for us. And the information that we want is, firstly, we're going to have the ID of the group. So for this example, we'll just use one of the, or just use, say, 3 of the regiments of the British Army group, Bob Dominion, 1990s British Army. So let's use Army Air Corps, Judge Advocate, and Grenadier Guards. So first up, let's do the Army Air Corps. We'll take the ID here, copy that, and paste it here. And then we want to do comma, because we can store multiple information on one line. And we want to say name. And that's basically what's going to show in your division section of your overhead GUI. And so that's Army Air Corps for this example. There we go. And then we'll do another comma and we'll say short name equals AC. And that's the abbreviation that we want to have if we have multiple, because we can't say Army Air Corps, Royal Grenadier Guards and Judge's Advocate, because it would just be way too long. So we want to use abbreviations. You don't have to, but it helps, especially if you've got lots of people who are in multiple regiments, and it just looks cleaner as well. So now next up we'll do JA, copy the ID, put the name in, and put the abbreviation in. And then finally we'll do the RGG, Roll Gun Digards. Put the ID in, put the name in. And then we'll put the short name in. And after these, you want to put semicolons, so that it knows that it's a new line. Okay, I've done that. Once you've done that, we can go and make this. So we're going to do local regiments equals, and then 2 curly brackets. And that's just an empty table that we can put information to. So we'll do for I regiment in pairs. And then we can use the group data here. So we're going to take the group data. And so basically what this is doing here is it's taking the information from the group data and searching through it. And then it's going to give it like a number or an ID. And so we'll do if player get ranking group. And then that's our, no, never mind, sorry, that's, and then we do regiment dot ID. And what we're going to do quickly is we're just going to change this back to a lowercase r so that our script doesn't get confused. Happy? Good. And then we'll do greater than or equal to 1 because that's the lowest rank. And then we'll do table dot insert and then regiments. And then it's going to insert the regiment. And so basically all it's doing is it's taking this massive table of all of the regiments and it's working out what regiments we are in. And what I'm going to quickly do though is I'm going to disable, oh no, I didn't explain the headquarters line. Sorry about that. I'll do that now. So we'll do if player get ranking group, that's not right, is greater than or equal to. So now for this part, you're just going to go into your group and you're going to go like this, configure group, and then go to this roles here. And you can see here that general is our lowest headquarters rank and it's 100. For the main group is 22. So just basically if the player is over that or equal to that rank, then we're going to give them a special title and we're going to do regiment.text equals headquarters. And you don't have to do this, it's just it looks better when you've got lots of when you've got someone who's like a headquarters person who's in all of the regiments. And also for these parts we just need to put we need to do found regiment equals false and player get ranking group. And then so here we're also going to want to add a quick line that says found regiment equals true. And that means that when we get down to this part here, it's not going to add 500 titles to their name. Anyway, now we're going to do if the number of regiments, so a hash means the number of or a number of regiments is greater than 1, and found regiment's false, then we're going to do local p-string equals regiments, and then square brackets 1 dot short name for I equals 2, the number of regiments do. Oh, sorry, there's supposed to be a comma there. Then we do p-string equals pstring dot dot, which just basically means we're moving a line of code into brackets or sorry, quotation marks. And I'll try and find the right key on my keyboard. There we go. And then we'll do space dash space. So that's just spacing out the text in our overhead. We'll do square brackets again. I dot short name. So basically what this is doing is it's working out how many regiments that you're in, and then it's taking that, and this string here is going to be what's on the thing, or what's on the overhead. And so it's going to say, for example, AAC space dash space JA, for example. And then we're going to go down here and say regiment.text equals square bracket, or you don't have to do a square bracket, you could do anything you want, and then we do pstring, and then another square bracket. And so this is basically taking all of this and just formatting it nicely. You don't have to do that if you don't want to though. And then we'll go, now we want to go to here, and we're going to do what to do if the number of regiments is only 1. So we do if regiments is equal to 1, and make sure to do found regiments false. Then regiment.text is equal to square bracket. We're formatting this again. It's just all that is. Regiments 1 dot short name dot dot dot. Sorry, just 2 dots even. And then dot dot player. And we'll do get role in group regiments 1 dot id. And so what this is doing now is if you're only in one regiment, then it will say, for example, AAC and then wing commander. So it'll say your rank, your regiment, followed by your rank in that regiment, and that's only if you have one. If you have multiple, if you're in multiple regiments, then it'll come out like this. That's all that is. And then finally, we're just going to do if someone isn't in any regiments, but they are in the army. So we'll do if player get ranking group. Oops. Just find the group ID. There it is. Is less than 25, which is the headquarters rank, then regiment dot text equals enlisted personnel. Once again, you can change this to whatever you like. It doesn't have to be enlisted. It could be anything you choose. So let's give it a quick test. I should point out quickly that this is only one way. I'm going to show you how to do this 2 ways. So this way that we're doing now is the text way, and afterwards I will show you how to do it with pictures or icons, but I will put down in the group description the 2 different time splits so you can jump around as you see fit. So we'll just test it then. For me, because I'm in a high rank, it'll say headquarters, so I'll just turn that off in a minute, and I'll show you what it looks like when the person isn't in the headquarters team. See? There we go, we have my name, and then my rank in the group, and then headquarters, which is my division. So we'll stop that quickly, and we'll go down to here, and we'll just say, we'll just put 2 dashes in front of this, which means it's instructions. It's telling the script that that's an instruction, not actually a part of the script. We can use that to leave notes to people, or just how to use the script, stuff like that. For now, it's disabling the fact that I'm a headquarters member. And so you see AAC, JA, RGG, all working very nicely. There we go. That is, in essence, how to add text divisions to your regiment groups. Simple as that. Now I will go over how to do it with icons. So the first thing that we want to do, we can get rid of that old script. I'm actually going to delete this whole thing because I've prepared two separate scripts. I've just disabled this one. And so what we want to do now is head over to just a paint program. You can also take pictures off the internet. This is just the default paint program that came with my computer. I won't spend a huge amount of time styling this. Let's just do a red square. And I suggest using squares, but it's not absolutely mandatory. I'm going to make the border a bit bigger. And then I'm going to rotate it. Why not? And then we need to make it a bit smaller because now it's too big. So, a bit too big. There we go. And so let's say that this, I'll add the text to it so that we can actually remember what we're going on about. Let's call this RGG, or let's stick with the same groups that we used before. Let's make it a bit bigger than that even. That'll do. Put it in the center, call that, make it black, why not? Okay. There we go. And there we have it. I'll just quickly save this. I'll move it somewhere else so it doesn't take me hours to find it. And we'll call this RGG icon. Make sure it's a PNG, otherwise you won't be able to upload this to ROBLOX. It doesn't have to be a PNG, but it has to be one of the acceptable formats, and I think that's PNG, JPEG, TIF, and a couple of others. I'm not sure though. So just to be safe, stick with PNG because it's pretty widely used. We'll just do the AAC one and make that light blue. Save that. Oh wait, when I save as, don't want to overwrite it. There we go, call that AAC icon. And we'll do a JA one. Let's do green, why not? And there we go. I don't think that's central, is it? There we go. Save as JA icon. Sorted. We can close that down now. Oops. And we're going to start making our next overhead. Now this one's slightly more complicated. And so what we're going to want to do is going to make a new frame here. We're going to call it icon frame. And then we're going to make it 1 by 0.4. Let's make it 0.5, why not? And then position it. I'll just make it 0.9. And next we want to go into this and we want to search for a UI list layout. And the fill direction is going to be horizontal. Horizontal alignment needs to be center. Layout order, we're going to do name. That's quite important, that is name. Vertical alignment is center. Padding, we will see once we've added icons to it because it's a little bit sketchy. Okay, then we're going to want to add a new frame here and we're just going to call that. Sorry, my headset just shut itself down. The perks of Bluetooth, eh? And we're going to want to call this icon store. Now I've accidentally started opening my Steam. Let's force quit that. Okay. now we're going to want to add image labels to this. And we'll just select all of them. And we'll say background transparency. Well, no, we don't want to do visible, but we'll do that in a minute. So first we'll just put them into the icon frame, and you can see once we make sure you make the icon store background transparency of 1 and untoggle visible. So when we move stuff back to it, it just disappears. And you can see here that this UI list layout will automatically order our labels to how we want them. Why isn't this closing? Come on. Okay, so we're just going to size these, and we're going to make them in the y-axis. We want them 1 by 0, and in the x-axis, let's make them 1 by 0.2. No, 1.5. Let's try that. That square, can't tell. 0.1. That's not enough. That looks good enough for me. So now we're just going to name the images what we want. So, oops, this is going to be called AAC. And what we're going to do is we're going to call it 1 AAC with the AAC part in brackets. And the reason we're doing that is that if we want to add divisions and make them look lower down the list than the main regiments, then we can just put a 2 in front of them. Like that. So say we want AAC to appear in front of RGG, then we can just put a 2 in front of RGG. But let's not do that for now. We also just realized that we're going to want to make a headquarters division. So I'll just make another icon quickly. I think it was 213. That looks too small though. Doesn't really matter. Let's just make this. Do I have gold saved? Yes, I do. And we can just call this headquarters or HQ and move it central. Save this quickly. And we'll just call that HQ icon. Save. Oops, I've saved it as a paint. We need to save it as a PNG. That is important. Done. We'll see when I put this in, it moved because of the way it's numbered. And we're going to want to call this 1 HQ. And so now we can start putting in our images. Just bear with, this might take a while. Just because of my really nice and old computer. We'll just go to recents, because we've just made it. Here they are. This is HQ, so just do HQ icon. Open that up and create it. And then you see here that we have our lovely HQ label, and with all of these, not that, we're going to want to say background transparency equals 1. Unless you want to have a white background, in which case you can just leave it. I'll just do the rest of these. RGG. Let's do JA. And AAC. Great. Now you can see here that they're quite close together, but because of the way we designed them with a little border, they're not actually touching. So really it's up to personal preference. If you do want to have them spaced out a little bit, then you can add an offset here. See, we're gonna make them ridiculously far apart if we want to. With the offset though, I should quickly mention with the padding that you're going to want to have a scale, sorry, not an offset. So we'll just do offset it by 0.2. And that way it won't spread out too much as we disappear off. Actually, that's a bit far, isn't it? It's call it 0.1. There we go. Right. Now we're going to move these back to the icon store, and we're going to add a script to them. So we want to go local script, and we're going to write a quick script. So we're going to say local player equals game.players.local player, and then we'll say if player. Actually, no, we want to define a couple more things. So we're going to say local icon frame is equal to script.parent dot parent dot icon frame, and then we're going to do local icon store equals script.parent dot icon store. Now we can say if player get ranking group, there we go, still got it saved, is less than or equal to 21, which is my lieutenant general rank. So anyone anyone lieutenant general or lower who isn't a headquarters member, and player get ranking group, and here we want to go to the AAC group and get the ID, or we can just use is in group for this actually, so we don't have to bother with IDs. Then we want to say script.parent, so that's the icon, dot parent equals icon frame, and then we'll do else if, we can just use else actually, else script.parent equals icon store. There we go. What we'll actually do here quickly is we'll just to make sure that it actually happens, is we'll do game.players.local player do player IDs character. One second. See, I've built this before and I can't remember how I ordered it to fire. Let's see, local script. Oh, we'll just use the while loop. That's easier. So we can make a loop basically by saying while true. So while this is true, it can't not be true. Do this, and what we want it to do is what we've just written, like that, and that is as simple as it gets. We just want to copy that script and paste it into the JA, and all we need to do is change this to our JA group ID. And then we're going to paste it into the RGG group, and we'll just change the ID again. To our RGG group ID. With the HQ one, it's slightly different because obviously we've told it if you're lower than the HQ rank, then you give it to them. This time, what we're going to do is change this sign so it's greater than, and away we go. I just realised that I put it in the wrong place though. So this was a useless test, but never mind. Things happen. Now all we need to do is move our GUI back into our script. This main script here doesn't have to change. It's exactly the same as it was in the last video. Here we are. For some reason we're getting a little bit of lag. Just wait for that to clear. Why are we getting these errors? Oh, I know, it's because if you don't add a timer onto it, it'll break the... When you make loops, you can add a lot of lag to the system if you don't add a wait into it. So if the loop is constantly running, it'll cause problems. So all we need to do is add a small wait into the loop. And that should fix it. Unless I've killed my computer. No, I haven't. There we go. So all we need to do is just go down here and do wait 1. And that'll just refresh every 1 second. I need to make sure that's the same across all of them. Oops. Just add that there. And we'll add one to RGG as well. Done and done. Now, if we play, finally it'll work. See, and now if we go on to me, you can see over my head is the little HQ icon that we devised earlier. And there you go, that is how you make an overhead GUI with text, and also how to make an overhead GUI with icons. Now, if you have any questions about what I've done today, please don't hesitate to DM me on Discord or comment on my YouTube video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe and notifications and all that. And if you'd like to join the group where I do most of my developing, then I will put the link in the description for that. And that's the Bob the Minion 1990s British Army group. Thanks for watching.